or the power of the demons inside him.
And Mr. Gibson over here to your left.
What we always saw was Mel Gibson, the movie star. But he told us we didn't know that the man on those magazine covers at times was drowning.
And it was just like, I just didn't want to go on.
Why? What?
I'm afflicted with, everyone's got something. I would get addicted to anything at all, okay?
Was it alcohol?
Yeah, mostly. It was, yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. Drugs, booze, anything. You name it. Coffee, cigarettes, anything, all right? I'm just one of these guys who is like that. That's my flaw. Sometimes I used to drive inebriated. I mean, this is the height of careless stupidity. And when you think about that kind of insanity, and I look back at that now and I go, what was I thinking? Of course, you're not thinking clearly. You're possessed by something else, It's only by grace from above that that I'm not in a pine box somewhere.
But Gibson says several times he had tried to turn his life around but kept failing and was brought to the brink of suicidal despair.
I checked into a few places and, sorted myself out. I didn't make a big noise about it.
You thought of jumping out a window?
I really did, yeah. I was looking down thinking, man, this is just easier this way. I don't know, you have to be mad. You have to be insane to despair in that way. I think I just hit my knees. I just said, help. And then I began to meditate on it, and that's in the gospel, I read all those again. I remember reading bits of them when I was younger. Pain is the precursor to change, which is great. That's the good news.
The reward system in the brain, and you trigger that disease with a particular drug, but once triggered, anything that activates that system will perpetuate the disease.
Pinsky said he thinks Gibson may make so many films about suffering because the strength of his addiction makes him suffer each day.
Shame is one of the profound feelings that people with addiction have, and when they find a transcendent experience in spirituality and they find connection with sober peers, they're accepted and the shame tends to lift.
The real medal goes to my wife, who's a wonderful woman,
What did she do?
What did she do? She hoped for years.
Robin, his wife of 26 years, mother to his 7 children.
She's the best friend I have ever had. She's just great and would be there completely 100%, 110%. And to put up with me, that's already a tall order. So, hey, I'll spend the rest of my life giving her medals, more precious than jewels.
And now, the man who has led so many others in Hollywood into recovery has to find his own way again.
I think everybody in their life gets to a point where that happens, I think, where they get to the moment of truth and they go, well, what is this all about? Am I going to jump? Am I going to go on? I don't want to do either. I don't want to live. I don't want to die. You ask yourself all those Hamlet questions, and eventually you just have to say, I'm not good enough to figure this out. I don't know. I just don't know. Help! If there's anything out there, help, And if you're lucky, you'll recognize the signs of that help. I'm not a done deal. I'm a work in progress, and I'm extremely flawed. And I better continue to think that way, too, because it's the truth.
Mel Gibson.
God save